So yesterday we created like how we can create a database. Okay. Very important point is how you need to create a data because under the databases only all the objects are stored. So must and should require a database. You need to create. Yesterday I sent the script also. Okay. Check it once. Okay. Today what we need to discuss how we can rename. If you want to rename the databases, whatever databases you created, I want to rename it. Then what I need to do? Suppose, for example, I created a multiple databases, right? Study. Okay. Suppose I want to rename this one into different one. Okay. Whatever the database name is there. So those databases where it is available means, see here, there is a drop down there, right? Okay. Here also databases are available. Okay. Suppose, for example, see here, is there or not? Different types of databases. And which database you want to rename it, that you have to take from this one, or else you can take it from here also, you can take it. Okay. Understand? Suppose I want to rename it. So for renaming a database, what we can do? Rename database. Okay. If you want to modify the database name, you have to follow the syntax here. What is the syntax here? Means, see, sp underscore rename db. Remember, if you want to rename the database means sp underscore rename db. Okay. Understand? So give some space. Okay. In the single quotes, old database name. Okay. Comma. New name. New database name. Understand clearly? This is, if you want to rename the database means this is the procedure. Understand clearly? Let's see with example. What database you want to rename it, that database you need to take it from here, or else you can take it like here itself, you can take that particular one. Suppose, for example, I want to rename this one. You have to select this one and copy this one here. Okay. And copy here and sp underscore rename db. Okay. In the single quotes, mention the old database name. Okay. Comma, new database name. So what you have to mention? mm, I want to give like this. Execute. See here, database name has been set. Understand clearly? Whenever this message is showing, it is that particular database name is changed to this one. Understand or not? If you want, you can check it also. You can check it here also. When you go here, see here, automatically it is appearing or not. Understand clearly or not? If you want to rename a particular database name means like this, you can do it. Suppose, for example, I know how to create a database. I know how to rename a database. Okay. And so in rename a database, how you can give old database name in the single quotes only you have to mention it. Comma in the single quotes again, new name. Okay. So like this you have to mention, then that database name is changed. Okay. Now the database, you know how to rename a database. Suppose, for example, I don't require the database. Then why should I keep that particular database in my server? Right? It's a wastage of memory, right? So I want to delete permanently. If you want to delete permanently any object in SQL Server, if you want to delete any object permanently in SQL Server, then you have to use drop command. What is that? Drop command. Very important point. Okay. If you want to delete any object, not only database, okay, table, okay, procedure, view, there are any object, whatever objects you created in SQL Server, if you want to drop that particular object permanently, not temporarily, permanently, if you want to delete it, then you have to use a command called drop. Okay. So how we can drop the database? Syntax. See, syntax is nothing but how you need to execute that command. Okay, so just a reference. Syntax is nothing but a reference. Okay, so how you need to execute, if you don't know, by seeing the syntax, you can, based on that, you can execute as it is. Okay. Understand clearly? Drop database, existing database name. That's it. Understand clearly? See, whatever the database name they is there, that you have to mention it here and execute this. Why it is not wrong? I'm giving a proper syntax only, right? Very, very important. That's the reason I'm showing this error. Okay. Why that particular database is not dropped? Because currently, what message it is? See here, cannot drop because it is currently in use. That means your your that means your whatever queries, whatever commands is there, those commands are executed in that particular database only, right? So when you are currently, so in which database is there? Here the database is there. For this query window, what database in which database you are executing the command. That command, whatever the database is appeared here, that database only we are executing all the commands. That means whichever database is selected here, in that database only our query commands are executed. This query window commands are executed in this one. That's the reason this is showing. If you want to execute other database means, then select the database first. Okay. In this drop down, whichever databases are required, you have to select that one. Okay. Select that one. After that, you can try to execute your commands. This is very important point. So now you are executing this drop command in the same database, right? When you are when you want to drop any database in the same database, when you are in the same database, if you try to execute a drop database, okay, then it will throw an error. Okay, because you are already used that one. So that's the reason. How can I drop this database means you have to change the database first. Change it to any other databases. Okay. First, you need to change it to any other databases. After that, you can execute the drop database. Understand clearly? See here. So when I execute this one, okay, in the same database only I'm there, I'm trying to execute it. It will throw an error. Okay. What you have to do, that means if errors means if the messages are showing in the red color, those are errors only, right? So that's the reason. What you have to do? So change the database to any database. Okay. See here. Suppose, for example, I'm using this. Suppose I'm selecting this one. After selecting the database here, now you can try to execute this one. Okay. What is that? See here. Understand clearly or not? Okay. See here. I want to execute. Is this executed or not? Why? But I am not using the same database. Still, why it is showing error? See here. Actually, you want to take the proper database. Still, it is not executed means you have to take the proper database from Object Explorer. See. Is the database is there? Okay, no, not there. Oh, okay, yeah. I want to drop a few of the databases. So this database, I want to drop it. Select that one and execute. You know, right, how to execute that command? Select this command and execute it. Understand or not? So like this, whichever database you want to drop it, you can drop all the databases here. You created multiple database, right? So don't use the multiple database. Single database is enough. That's the reason I'm dropping all the other. It is not showing. Better to put a brackets. Understand? Okay. So this is how you can drop the databases. Understand clearly or not? Okay. Is that clear? Okay. So once the databases are dropped, now that means can we get back that particular database again? No. That is what the drop command. Okay. Any object, if any object, if you try to delete by using a drop command, you cannot revert back that one, particular one. Because drop command, any object by using drop command, if you execute it, that is permanently deleted from the server. Understand clearly or not? Yeah. Someone is raising a hand. Can you please raise your hands? Yeah. Tell me, Rani.
Sir, you have written a syntax like drop database existing database name, right?
Sorry. What is that?
The syntax which you have written, drop database existing database name.
Yeah, existing database only.
So when we have written this existing database name, so you are deleting this B161, right? So in the database only you are deleting it. So that syntax implies to this only, no? 161.
Yeah. So this syntax is for one database. You're
So then,
asking.
when you are changing
Your
the
voice is
database name,
very low. Speak it loudly, and your voice is breaking also.
so we are unable to delete this 161 database, right, sir? When you write that syntax, so
Yeah.
you are changing to another database and deleting the 161 database.
Yes. That's what I told you. Right?
Yeah. That
When
then
you are you when you are if you are in query window, in this query window,
Mhm.
if you are using the same database, the database cannot be dropped. So what you have to do, you have to change it to any other database in this drop down, and after that, if you execute it, then only that particular database is dropped. Is that clear? Rani?
No, the syntax which you have written existing database name, drop database existing database name, right? That I did not understand.
Syntax is drop database name. What database name? You have a question, right? If you are a new, you don't know anything.
Mm.
New database name means what? So for understanding purpose, I am giving a syntax as
Okay.
existing database name.
Okay.
Existing database name. If whatever databases you are using, any of the database you can mention in place of existing database. That is the meaning.
Okay.
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 Oh, you understand clearly if I'm giving, actually, when you go with any SQL server, the syntax is database name. Actually, that is the syntax. But actually, if you are new to this SQL server, you don't know what is database name. That means, suppose I'm giving database name here. Similar like that, they are executing like drop database name they are mentioning. Okay. So that's the reason. These are the some students are say whatever syntax I'm writing, same syntax again. Exactly writing, executed majority the database is not wrong. So to avoid that one, I'm giving more explanation for this existing database name. Means any database, whichever it is used in your server, that particular database name, anything you can do. That is the meaning of the
Okay. Thank you.
understand.
Thank you.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
funny, while at the time of creating any particular database, how you will give the database, how you will create a database within the square bracket. See, if when you are giving the square brackets, if your database name is multiple words, okay, or else if the database name is starts with the numeric, okay, if your database name is starts with any other special character, any other special character means except hash. Any other special character means must and should. If you want to start with must and should, you have to mention square brackets. Square brackets are required for if you starts with the name, any object name starts with the numeric, starts with a special character like at the rate, dot, something like that. Okay. And if your database name is multiple words, suppose for example, Naresh ID space batch 16, I'm giving this. Two different words, right? But I need to consider as only one name. Then you have to mention within the square brackets only. If you are not mentioning the square brackets, it will throw an in these cases. Starts with a numeric, starts with a special character. If you have like multiple words, if you want to create it, if you okay, so whenever you are giving, okay, so if you are giving a names inside the square brackets, okay, suppose if you are giving names inside the square brackets means what type of names you are giving means if any database name is starts with numeric, okay, any database name is starts with a special character except hash. Okay. If you have like multiple words databases are there. Suppose Naresh IT space batch 16. There are two different words, right? Okay. So in these cases, must and should you have to mention inside the square brackets. Okay. Without square brackets, how it will be there? Like if you have one word name and if it is starts with a character or hash, then you can directly give the database name without square brackets. Understand clearly, Sai Teja, for this one. Okay. So that means if you are giving any particular database name inside the square brackets means must and should you have to mention the square brackets while you are deleting. Understand? Okay. So in which cases you are giving the square brackets, you know, right? That means while dropping also you must and should you need to give. Otherwise, it will throw an error. Remember this point. Understand or not? Okay. If you are not giving a square brackets while at the time of creating databases, you are giving a square brackets and give that one. Okay. At the time of dropping, if you are not giving and not giving, then it will immediately it will throw an error. Understand clearly? So you know right in which cases we have to give square brackets, in which cases we don't want to give the square brackets. Understand clearly or not? Okay. So that's the reason. So based on that, you have to be like that. Is that clear? Sai Teja, is that clear for you? Parameshwar, is my voice is clear for you? Is that clear or not? While dropping a database, while dropping any particular database, please be careful. Okay. Only database, not other objects. For a table, can I change it to different database? No. Only if you drop any particular database at that point of time, you have to change it to different database. Don't use the current database. That means whichever database you are dropping in that particular database, don't your database name must not be there into that particular one. That means whatever database you want to drop it, always you are not using that particular database. Okay. Don't use it. That means you have to change the database in this drop down, and after that try to execute your command. Understand? Whatever drop command you are using, if you are currently you are using the database, that particular drop command is not executed. So at that point of time, you have to change the database to any other database. Okay. Any database, after that execute that command. It will be executed. So that is the first point. Second point is, while creating, at the time of creating a database, if you are giving a square brackets, means in the square brackets manner only you have to drop that particular database. Understand clearly? Because when you click on this drop down, it is not showing the square brackets. And at the time of creating a database, you are mentioning the square bracket. Those square brackets, it is not shows in this particular drop down. At that point of time, if you thought like directly giving the database name, then immediately it will throw an error. Okay, understand? So must and should you have to. In which cases you have to give the square brackets, you know, right? If you have the multiple word database name, or if the database name is starts with numeric, or database name is starts with a special character. In these three cases, must and should you have to mention within the square brackets. Okay. Without having square brackets, what databases names will be there? That means if the database name is starts with character, or database name is single word database, then without square brackets you can create it. And even that also, at the time of dropping also, without square brackets you can drop those things. Understand clearly or not? Whichever, at the time of creating a database, whichever databases you are within the square brackets you mention it, at the time of dropping also you are following the same thing. Is that clear or not? Okay. So this is the one. Is that clear or not? Now, next one is creating a table. Table is another object, because so first of all, where we can store our data in SQL Server means in table only. In table format only we can store the data in SQL Server. Okay. So if you want to create any particular object, okay, you have to use a command called create. What is that? If you want to create any object in SQL Server, create is the command. If you want to delete any object permanently, what command? Drop command. Understand clearly? No? So now we need to discuss about DDL commands. What is that? DDL. Full form of DDL is data definition language. DDL commands are okay. So what DDL commands will do? It will create the structure of that particular table. Okay. So that means first commands is DDL command. DDL is data definition language. That means this DDL commands are creating the structure, the table structure. Only it will create. Understand? DDL commands are create, alter, drop, and what is that? Create, alter, drop, truncate. Let's discuss one by one. First, create. Actually, any object. Okay. Object means what is the object here? Either a table is an object. Okay. And curse trigger is an object. View. Understand clearly? Or not? Hmm? Understand clearly or not? Now, in all of the object, first object is creating a table. Okay. If you want to create the table creation. Okay. Syntax. Okay. So first is create table. Okay. Table name. Any name you can give. Any name. Table name. Here, actually the syntax is table name here. But I am mentioned any name. So everyone can understand. You can give any type. If I'm giving table name means, while at the time of creating a table also, they are giving table name. Okay. That's the reason I'm giving different name for this one. Okay. And after that, column name. Okay. Column name also any name. Okay. Any column name. Okay. Column name space data type must enter like this. Column name. Understand clearly? Okay. So see here. Suppose, for example, create table. After that, table name. Vijay, while at the time of giving my table name, can I use square brackets or without using square brackets? Same syntax. For if you want to create any particular name, okay, in SQL Server, so same or rules, okay. What are the rules are available for database name? The same. If you are starts with a numeric or special character or multiple words of name, then you have to use square brackets. Okay. If you are using starts with a character and single word name only, table name only, you can give. Then no need to use square brackets. It's up to you. But most of the times, okay, always any type of name you have to give it inside the square brackets. Understand clearly or not? See here. Okay. And depends on your situation, you can give any name. See here. Suppose, for example, first table, I'm giving like this. Not only this one, any name you can give inside the square brackets. Okay. And after that, what is that? What is the column name? First, you have to write the column name. Space. Any column name, any name you can give. It's not compulsory to use the same type of columns. No. Any type of name you can give. After that, give some space. After that, data type. What is the data type here? See here. See, the data type is, what is a data type? First of all, what is a data type here? Means what type of values you need to insert into that particular column. Okay. This data type will decide. SQL Server, like you are inserting numeric or character or anything. Okay. But how the system will knows? Base SQL Server will understand if you want to insert a numeric values means numeric data type you have to mention. If you want to insert character values in that particular column, then character data type you have to give. Because whenever you are giving like that, at that point of time, SQL Server will allows only the character. If you are giving a data type numeric means only numeric will allows. Okay. So that means if for any column, if any value you want to insert into that particular column means SQL Server will understand for only with the data type. Based on the data type of that particular column, those related values only you can insert it. If you try to insert other values related one, immediately it will throw an error. Because SQL Server, if it didn't understand what is that one, then immediately it will throw an error. Understand clearly or not? Okay. Suppose I'm giving, I want in ID column, I want to insert numeric values or decimal values. Then numeric related data type you have to mention. Whenever you are mentioning the numeric related data type, SQL server will understand only it allows in ID column as numeric values. Okay. At the time of inserting also, inserting a records into that particular column, it will check whether it is a numeric value or not. If it is numeric value, insert it into that particular column. If it is not numeric value, immediately it will throw an error. Understand clearly? That's the reason while you are creating a table for each and every column, must and should you have to give the data type for each and every column. Understand clearly or not? See here. That means, suppose I will tell you, don't worry. After completing this one, what are the different data types are there? First, we need to discuss it, and after that, we need to create all these things. Okay. So I'm giving like integer. Okay. Name. Okay. Like this, you can mention n number of columns in that. Vijay, what is the maximum size of maximum columns we can give it for a particular table? For one table, how many number of columns we can create it? 1024. What is that? For the single table, you can create maximum how many columns? 1024. Okay. We need to give 1024 columns. Okay. Those many columns you can mention in a single table itself and you can create it. Understand clearly or not? Okay. So after this, close the bracket and here also close the bracket here and execute this one. This particular one is executed. Once it is executed, that means in ID column only numeric because integer I'm giving here. In this name one character because I'm giving the type character related one. Understand? First of all, what is a data type? See here. First, we need to discuss about data types. Understand clearly or not? What type of values we need to insert in any column, this data type will decide. Okay. Understand clearly or not? Okay. So what are the different data types are available? There are different data types are available in SQL Server. Okay. What are those? Like, see, if it is a numeric, if it is a numeric data type, okay, you will have integer, int, or big int. Most of the times in the organization level, either we are using integer or big integer. See, there are different data types are available, okay, in numeric. tiny int, small integer like that. So, but in any of the project, we are not using tiny int or small integer. Always we are using either integer or big int. So in the organization, in any of the project, what type of data types we are using regularly, 99%. Those I mentioned here. Okay. I don't want to discuss what are all the types are there. If we are not using that also, still why we need to discuss all these things. Okay. So numeric data types are integer and big integer. It will allows only numeric values. These two data types are allows only numeric values only. Okay. So why two is there? One is enough, right? Okay. So in these two, the ranges are different. Okay. In integer, some other range is there. In big integer, more range will be there. Understand clearly? I will tell you. Okay. So numeric data types are integer and big. Decimal data types. Decimal data types are decimal p comma s. Numeric. Again p comma s. I will tell you what is p and what is s. Okay. Character related. Character data types. You're using varchar and size. Inside the square bracket size. In size means number you need to give. Okay. And varchar also you have to use. Character data. Okay. And date related data types are date, data, date, time, comma, date, time. Understand? Not only these, so many data types are there, but so always in the organization level, only these data types only we are using. But at the time of giving some trainings, if you attend for SQL Server separate course, it is okay. And then they are giving all the data types which is available in the SQL Server. But when you are going with any of the project, only these data types only have to use. Okay, that's the reason I'm explaining these only. Understand? And next one is approximate data type. Approximate data types are float, real. Okay. What are these two also? I will tell you. Okay. Is there any point is missing? No. So these are the data types. Let's discuss one by one. Okay. First, numeric data type. Integer, big integer. Okay. What are these two? I will tell you. Integer and big integer both are allows numeric values. Numeric values means either positive values or negative values. Okay. these two will allows both positive and these two data types will allows both positive and negative values. Okay. So first of all, okay. In this one, integer, first integer data type. Range, range, range for integer data type is minus 214 This is the one. 214, 74, 83, 647. 2, 214, 74, 83, 648. Okay, this is a range. And storage is how much storage it will occupies? 4 bytes. What is that? Understand clearly? That means each digit in SQL server in bytes formats only it will occupies the memory. Okay. Each digit, how much, if you are taking the data type as integer, each digit will occupies how much storage it is? 4 bytes of memory. Big integer, range is this is the one. And storage is 8 bytes of memory. Understand clear? Understand clearly or not? Okay. Is that clear? See, these two data types for either positive numeric values or negative numeric values. Okay. Which I will give an example. See here. So let's see with examples for these two. Okay. create table. What is that? Table name, any name. Like suppose, for example, I'm giving like okay, I'm giving a name int. Okay, inside the square bracket. See here, I'm inserting. I'm giving some values. Column name. What is the syntax for this? Creating a table. Column name, integer, comma name is. I will tell you what is varchar and everything. Okay. Understand or not? So not required. Only one column only I want to use. Successful, right? Now the table is created. Okay, only table is created. But if I want to insert a records, what command it is? Insert command separately how to give it. I will tell you again what is insert command, how many types it is there, I will tell you. Okay, for here, I'm inserting a records. For that, I'm using insert command. Insert into table name. What is the table name here? The table name you need to mention. Okay. And values, what you have to give? So for ID column only you created. For that ID column, you have to start giving the values. See, table creation with only with columns. If you want to create, you have to use create command. If you want to insert the records of that particular columns, means you have to use insert command. Understand clearly or not? Okay, don't worry. I will explain you once again in other commands also. Okay. So just here, see how the records are inserted into that particular column. Okay, for numeric column. Suppose, can I insert 1, 2, 3? Yes or not? Okay. Wait. Now, can I insert negative values? Okay. Understand? But if so the records are inserted, but if I want to see those records of that particular table, means you have to use select statement. Okay. Select star from table name. Don't worry, all this I will explain you once again. Okay. Just for this, what type of values if you are giving in numeric. Okay. Okay. So each and everything you have to know. That's the reason I'm writing all these things. Okay. Okay. Like inserting numeric and positive values and negative value. Can we insert negative values? Sorry. Can we insert decimal values for numeric data type? Integer is a numeric data type, right? It will allow positive value and negative values. Okay. Can I try to give the decimal values? Is it executed? You understand what what I'm saying here? Suppose, for example, 456.678 like this. Can I insert this one? Yes, we can insert it. One row is. Then when you are executing this one, it is executed. But what value is inserted into that particular column? Only numeric values. That means before decimal values only, before point values only inserted. After point values, after decimal values, no, it is not allowed. Understand clearly or not? If you want, you can check it here also. See here. See the table, whether it is there. What it is inserted? 456. That means when you are, if your data type is numeric, okay, you can try to give the decimal values also. When you are giving decimal values, only it will allows the numeric values. That means before point values, whatever it is there, that only it is stored into that particular column. After point values are not allowed to insert into that particular column. Is that clear or not? When you are taking a numeric data type of data type of columns, you can insert numeric and positive values and negative values. You know that one. If your case is like, if I try to insert this one, is this particular value is inserted or not? Executed. First it is executed. And what value is stored into that particular column? Before point values, before decimal values, whatever it is there. Here before decimal value means what it is there? 456. That only it is inserted. After point values, whatever it is there, that it is not allowed, that it will removed. Understand? Even negative values are also allowed. In the decimal values, negative values are also allowed here. See here. Can I give like this or not? What value is inserted? Minus 456. That's it. Is that clear or not? Is that clear or not? That's the reason I'm creating table and inserting all these things. Why I'm showing is, you know, positive and negative values it will allow. Sometimes if your value is like decimal value also, is it allowed or not? How would you know? Okay. So that's the reason I'm showing an example. Understand clearly or not? Vijay, I have a doubt here. Can we insert like this? Suppose, for example, like this. Is it allowed? And what value is allowed here? Huh? See here. Whatever quotient value is there. See, in this format also, you have to try to give the values. In this one, when you are giving division or multiplication also it is possible. Okay. Addition also it is possible. Suppose, for example, okay, when you are giving a division like this, what will happen? After calculating a division, whatever quotient value is there, that it is inserted into that particular column. Understand? Suppose, for example, can we insert like multiple? Execute this one. Understand clearly or not? These also. See, these are the different examples for numeric related data type. That means if you are have if any column is a numeric related data type, that means so these are the values only it will allow it. Understand? If I try to insert character values into that particular column, is it allowed? It will throw an error. See here. Understand or not? What error it is throwing? It is allowed in numeric data type of a column. It will allows only numeric numeric values only, either positive or negative. It is not allowed the character values or date values. Understand clearly? This is the SQL server behavior. While you try to execute it, first it will check whether it is a positive numeric value or negative numeric value. Then only it will try to insert it. Otherwise, it will throw an error. Understand clearly or not? Understand clearly or not? Any doubts? Is that clear for integer related data type? Tomorrow we need to discuss about big integer. Okay. In integer, suppose my phone number is there. What is that? My phone number is there. Can I, by using integer data type, can I insert my phone number into that particular column? You understand my question or not? My phone number is there. I want to insert in integer type of column. Is it allowed? No, because range. What is the range here? 2147480. This is 10 digit only, but it is always less than 2 digits. The starting is 2 only. But my phone number is either 9 digit or 8 digit or 7 digit. Only it is there. That means starts with a 7 digit or 8 digit or 9 digit. There are 10 digits will be there, right? My phone number. So that this range is not allowed in integer. Then you have to use big integer. Big integer will allows any type of, see here the range. In between this range only it will allows. If you are giving beyond that range, it will throw an error. See here. Can we insert this one? Huh? It will throw an error. What is that error? Arithmetic overflow over converting expression into data type. Because it will exceed the range. It will, whatever value you are inserting, this value is exceed the integer range. That's the reason it will throw an error. Understand or not? But I want to insert it. Then you have to use big integer. Tomorrow we need to discuss about big integer and everything. Is that clear or not? Anyone having any doubts in this one? Once again, first complete online, after that. Online team, anyone having any doubts?